Good morning, everyone. I hope you're off to a great day. I'm still battling that old head cold and throat thing. It's more my throat now than anything. I sound like I can sing really deep, but I can hardly sing at all. So, got a cup of tea going here. That's nice. Really, really nice with a sore throat. So, at any rate, I hope you're doing good. The beautiful sunshine out there this morning. It is wonderful to see. I haven't poked my head out to see how cold it is yet, but I love to see that sunshine. It just is a great encouragement to me. So I'm probably not going to last as long as usual on our Facebook devotions just with my voice. But anyway, we're going to give it a good go. All right. Last couple Fridays, we've been having snowstorms. I don't know who out there is praying for that kind of stuff, but we can stop that now. I want spring. But have you noticed when we get these snowstorms, we get all these warnings, and that's properly so. We need to know what's happening and things. But things slow down. It's nice to watch from inside the house with that cup of tea in your hand or a cup of coffee, whatever, and watch that snow fall and hear the wind howling, or particularly last week when we had that snowstorm, it was pretty windy. And, no running around. You're inside the house. You're getting, really, it's a break. It's a change. It might be even called a rest from the regular tasks that you would have on a Friday night. And, I started thinking about that. Well, growing up, we used to have lots of snowstorms in Newfoundland. And you could be shut down for days. All right. So, there's a song I heard growing up there talking about how a snowstorm was a hint from a good old friend to take it easy, just to stop, keeping the wolf from the door type idea. And just to sit back and just to enjoy what God has given you. Now, that's not what the song was saying, but that's what I'm thinking. And, we all need to rest. We live in a culture that's like, bam, 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 bam. And the GTA, that's what I'm referring to in particular. It's go, 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 go. And if you're not going, you're almost made to feel like, well, you're not being a very productive member of society. You got to keep going. I think about the Lord, and there was lots of times, we're not going to look at all of them, but we're going to look at a couple of them this morning real quick, where he rested, where he withdrew himself from the crowd so he wasn't bombarded by requests or questions, but got alone to pray, mostly to pray, but there's times just to be just to take a break. Matthew 14, verse number 13, when Jesus heard of it, he departed thence by ship into a desert place apart. So what did he hear about? This is the previous verse. He found out that John the Baptist had been beheaded by King Herod. I know the Lord knows everything. But this is a time, it kind of shows us the indication of, taking a rest, taking a break when there's grief that comes our way, and to process it. That's what we do during that time when we sit back. We're processing that loss. Maybe we're even processing what has to be done, what needs to be done, what will be done. But just to, I can't do all these other things. There's just too many things. I need to break. I need to pause from regular activity. I need to rest. And that's what Jesus was doing here with his disciples. He came away. Though the Lord knew John was going to be beheaded, it still wasn't, that's no big deal. This still affected him. Okay. So we need to, when there's grief, we step back and rest and pause on life in general. Then over in Mark chapter number 4, and verse number 35, and the same day when the eve was come, he said unto them, let us pass over unto the other side. And when they had sent away the multitude, they took him even as he was in the ship, and there were also with him other little ships. So Jesus had spent the day ministering to a crowd. It was a great multitude. That's what the verse talks about. There's a multitude that he sends away. I'm back now, I think I am. Anyway, so He didn't send him away. He says, I have to get away. I got to get away from these people. I need to, after spending all day in ministry, I mean, I can give you an example even just with church when, we're at church all morning, we get there early, we're getting things ready, then there's service, then there's fellowship time, then there's another service. By the time I get home, I'm pretty wiped. I'm ready for a snooze on my couch that's behind me here. So the idea to hear that Jesus says, I need to take a break. I'm tired. Jesus felt tiredness just like we do. So he was limited with his physical body. So he separated himself. He was recharging his batteries. He's like, hey, and we need to do the same thing with our physical batteries, emotional, you can't live always on the edges of life, in the margins. You need to step back and say, hey, I need to rest. And there's no shame in that. That's right. You want to do your best. You need to rest. All right. And then the last one is in Luke chapter number 6. Luke chapter number 6 and verse number 12. And it came to pass in those days that he went out into a mountain to pray and continued all night in prayer to God. So Jesus again was withdrawing himself from individuals. He's by himself. He's praying. That's a great thing to do when you're resting too, is to spend time in prayer with the Lord and commune with him, ask him what, he wants for you to do, direct you and things of that nature. And I believe this is what took place in this verse. Because the next day, the very next day was pretty monumental. It's the day that Jesus would choose the 12 who are going to be his disciples. So, when life comes, and we all have life comes, and we have to make a decision, and it's a big one. It's not like, oh, where are we going to eat supper tonight? Or what grocery store are we going to get the food today? Or I need to go for a walk. What trail should we take? I mean, they're minor decisions, okay? I'm talking about big decisions, like decisions of jobs, a move maybe. Maybe it's a life mate, or maybe it's a health decision. Like, these are big decisions. It's a really good idea to kind of withdraw yourself from the crowd, kind of have like a pause again and say, listen, I need to talk to the Lord. I need to spend some time with my maker and see what he wants me to do and which direction I should go. Right? So I don't know where you're at this Saturday morning. I don't know if you are wiped out, if you are so tired that you can hardly drag yourself to watch this video or do any responsibilities. Hey, get your rest. All right, get your rest. I mean, we see again, it's from scripture, and there's many other portions of scriptures. This isn't it, where Jesus pulls himself away. He says, I need to get some rest, or has his disciples follow him to get rest because of ministry. We have our limits. Don't think you can go beyond them. Say, hey, I need to, setting up boundaries. This is what I can do. This is what I can't do. All right. So maybe today is a rest day. Maybe today is a day, you're facing some big decisions on the horizon. Spend some time in prayer. Ask the Lord to give you some direction on it, and which way you need to go, or which ways you don't need to go. All right. So let's look to the Lord in that manner to help us. And hey, recharge those batteries. You need to do it. Maybe you're going through some grief, maybe some really big burdens on your heart. Spend some time with the Lord. Rest in him, and see what he'll have for you. And I'm so glad that he never leaves us nor forsakes us. All right, so I forgot to mention this yesterday when I did Friday wrap up, but today is time change. Like, was it 2:00 tonight, right, or Sunday morning? And so I do it today. This helps me so much. I do when I get up. So I know it's 7:34 on my phone, but I'm really 8:34. And just helps me do this day better and tomorrow as well. All right, so don't forget, spring ahead. And I read an article yesterday that this might be the last time. There's apparently already legislation in place that if the Americans will do it, please, Americans do it, change it, then it'll be gone. All right, so I don't want to be changing clocks anymore if I can have the chance. All right, so that's tonight. Don't forget to do it. And well, if you don't, I'll see you at 11, right? If you don't change your clock in time, be at church for 11. All right. So tomorrow at 9, we're going to look at missions, the need of missions and missionaries and things. That's at 9 o'clock. Then at 11, Lord willing, we'll finish up our series on Ecclesiastes. So looking forward to that. That's been a great study. I've learned a boatload of things in that study. So I hope you'll be out 9 or 11. If you can't, as far as I know, everything is going to be good for a live stream. I know we had some issues last week for the 9 o'clock one, but I believe they're solved. So we're going to be good to go for 9 and 11. So if you can't make it with us. All right. Have a great day. I'm going to enjoy my cup of tea, which is Go Ask Your Mother. This is a great cup if things are going a little gnarly at home. All right. Take care, folks. Take care and God bless.